Howdy folks, and welcome back to Assassin's Creed Odyssey with the mighty Jingles. And when last we left our intrepid hero Cassandra, we just received a number of leads that may help us track down our long-lost mother Marini. However, before we get involved in any of that, there's a whole bunch of quests that need doing in Athens. Well, they don't need doing, but I'm going to do them anyway because they involve Socrates and Alcibiades. Two of my three, along with Barnabas, favourite characters in the game. And there they are just up ahead. This is going to be good.
Talking in circles may work on others, Socrates, but not on me.
I don't speak in circles or any other shape. You answered one of my questions and that brought another to mind.
And another. Ooh, and another. Cassandra! I knew you'd change your mind after turning me down. Unfortunately, love must wait a little longer.
Whatever you say.
I hate to cut our conversation short, Socrates, but I believe you've talked enough for the both of us. We must find another use for that mouth of yours.
Speak to him long enough, and you may find the smallest hint of knowledge veiled deep behind his enthusiastic advances.
A compliment and an insult in the same sentence. He truly is gifted. You've arrived at the perfect time. I have a friend named Sophanes who wants to become an Athenian citizen, but he needs a bit of help. Your help.
Uh-huh.
I can't wait to hear why it's my help he needs.
Any Mystios would do, really, but you're my favorite. All you need to do is sign my friend's name on a little list.
Uh-huh.
There has to be a reason Sophanes can't sign the list himself.
Well, he would, but he isn't nearly as able as you are.
Meaning?
Meaning, you have skills he doesn't possess. He'd fail if he tried on his own.
Uh-huh.
Why Athens? Surely he's a citizen somewhere else already.
Everyone wants to be an Athenian citizen, even if they don't say so. Sophanes has a mind for politics, but can only participate as a citizen.
I didn't realize you had a list of mercenaries you favor. And I'm at the top?
Of course you are. Although, if you ask nicely, I would happily let you be on the bottom.
Uh-huh.
This sounds simple. Now tell me why it isn't.
There's this small matter that you'll have to enter the Metroon, where you're not allowed, and forge his name well enough, of course.
So he's trying to become a citizen illegally. You should have led with that.
I'll try to remember that the next time. The building you're looking for is near the Agora. Be safe.
Yeah. This is the thing about Alcibiades. I mean, I love him dearly, but nothing he ever asks you to do is simple. Alcibiades was actually a real person, and I'm not talking about the football player from Cyprus. I mean, this ancient Greek Alcibiades came from a prominent Athenian family.
Best stay out of sight.
The representation of him here in the game is probably pretty accurate. Yeah. He was notorious for being unable to keep his dick in his pants. And he was constantly changing sides in the wars between Sparta and Athens. He fought for Athens at least twice, and Sparta at least once, and might have continued fighting for Sparta if he hadn't been able to keep his dick out of the wives of one of the Spartan kings. So, yeah, like I said, his representation here in the game may actually be quite accurate. Anyway, this is the place. It doesn't appear to be particularly heavily guarded, but it doesn't have that many entrances, so it doesn't really need to be particularly heavily guarded, so let's just see exactly what we're dealing with. Icarus, so faithful eagle of mine. Check it out. One guard. There's the quest objective. 2 guards. It's got more than 2. 3 guards. Is that it? Yeah, there only seem to be 3 guards. Problem is, I don't really want to kill them. I'm trying to be on my best behaviour when I'm in Athens. Well, you know, aside from rigging ostracism votes and murdering snake vendors and forging citizenship lists. But apart from that, I'm trying to be on my best behaviour while I'm here in Athens. So we're going to knock this guy out. I'll whistle to attract the attention of the second guard.
Huh? Is someone trying to mess with me?
Yep, somebody's trying to mess with you. Why don't you come over here and investigate?
What?
Gotcha. Now, do I have to deal with a third guard, or can I just... Actually, let's not just leave him lying in the doorway where all the passers-by can see him. Let's at least make an attempt to hide the body. Now. Yeah, that guy's looking this way. You see, the doorway to the part of this building that I need to be in is the next one down. But he'll see me if I just try to sneak in, so... We're going to have to take the third guard out. I didn't actually need to take the first one out at all. But that's fine. This isn't going to take long. There he is. Okay. Again, let's not just leave an unconscious guard lying in the street for everybody to see. We'll dump the body here. Quickly forge the signature.
There. His name's been signed. Time to get back to Alcibiades.
And get out of here before anybody starts asking any awkward questions. There he is. I did that job for you.
My favorite Misthios returns.
And with good news, too.
My favorite kind. You did it then?
Of course I did. Sophanis' name is now on the citizen list.
Perfect. I knew you were the right Misthios for the job.
Done. Nice and simple. And I got some fat loot out of it. And Alcibiades appears to have a follow-up quest for us.
Now that you forged my friend's name on the citizens list, there's one more thing that needs to be done.
Next time you want me to do two things, tell me both at the same time.
The second is dependent on the first. I needed to know it was complete. I didn't expect you to get so upset about it.
Just tell me what you need.
Unfortunately, getting Sophanis' name on the list doesn't make him a citizen. He also needs a witness who can validate his citizenship.
So you want me to be the witness?
If only it were that easy. No, there's someone I have in mind. An extremely handsome man by the name of Peros.
Oh, yeah.
I'll find your handsome witness.
Perfect. I knew you'd be willing to help.
So what's he not telling us this time?
There must be a good reason we can't be witnesses.
Of course. The witness must be an Athenian citizen, but it can't be a friend. Be careful with Peros, though. It's easy to lose oneself in his gaze.
Uh-huh.
If there is more after this, I want to know now.
Of course. This should be the last thing.
Should?
I mean, is.
Time to find Peros.
He's often around the Justice Building on the east side of the Agora.
And I just ask him to help?
Peros needs to say that the parents of Sophanis were both Athenian. How you get him to do it is up to you.
Right. It's never as straightforward as Alcibiades makes it out to be. So let's go and find out what the complication is this time.
That's the guy Alcibiades called handsome? Can't say I agree with him.
You tell Theon I'm not giving him anymore. If he wants to talk to me, he can come himself.
I'm not here about debts.
Well, what do you want then?
There is a man trying to become an Athenian citizen. You're going to be his witness.
Me? Why?
Because Alcibiades said you're the one to do it.
Ah, Alcibiades. He is persistent. And who is this man I meant to help?
His name is Sophanis.
Sophanis. I know that name well. I won't help you though, not for him.
Yeah, here it is.
I don't know him. Why don't you want to help?
True Misthios never get all the information up front. Sophanis betrayed his men for Drachmi. He deserves death, not citizenship. Ah, look, it isn't your fault. You didn't know, but now you do.
I could pay him.
Sounds like Vion may be sending someone to collect from you. Wouldn't it be nice to have the drachmi you need?
Fine. I'll do what you want.
It was only 200 drachmi. Better than beating them up. Well, I mean, beating them up would have been cheaper, but I'm trying to be on my best behaviour. Oh yeah, look at these losers. Get a job, you hippies. Here's the thing. Alcibiades could quite literally have picked anybody at random to be the witness for this citizenship thing. Instead, he picked somebody that he must have known had a grudge against this Sophanes person. Alcibiades never does anything without a reason. It's not always obvious what the reason is, and he doesn't always share those reasons with me. But he always has a reason. He's a crafty bugger, not nearly as stupid as he makes himself out to be. Although he likes everybody to underestimate him, hence his act. Oh, Socrates is back. I feel a lecture in moral philosophy coming
You've
on.
returned.
Socrates too, it seems.
Much like you, he just can't seem to stay away. I hope there were no issues.
Yes, he just needed a little push.
Ah, I was worried about that. Well, you did the right thing.
You kept information from me. Information that would have been nice to know.
I believe people like Sophanes deserve second chances. I didn't think what he did mattered to you.
Next time, let me decide what matters to me.
Understood. I should give Sophanes the news.
And
Do
here
not
comes
bad
the lecture.
citizens do harm to their neighbors and good citizens good? Is it possible to tell if someone will be good or bad without first giving them a chance?
People can change.
Person isn't the same forever. Someone bad can become good.
But is the inverse not also true? Someone considered good can then become bad? How can we predict someone's actions now, let alone in the future?
You can't.
We can't. One thing I've learned is people are unpredictable. It's what makes my job so hard sometimes.
If what you say is true, we can either hope we are right and that people will be good, or limit risk by not giving people like Sophanes a chance. I wonder then if bad actions can reverse good or good actions can reverse bad. Perhaps we can speak on that another time.
Socrates,
Thank the gods.
stop trying to make me feel bad. It's probably just as well I didn't say that to him. Because the next thing you know, we'd be having a discussion about whether or not Socrates was the one making me feel bad, or whether or not Socrates was simply observing my actions, and it was my guilty conscience about my actions that were making me feel bad, and then I'd probably have to punch him. So it's probably just as well that we didn't go down that route. Speaking of Socrates, the next thing that popped up on the map was the location of a quest from the man himself. He's up here near the statue of Athena in the Acropolis, having a rather animated conversation with the playwright Aristophanes.
I call that impression the lapdog. I wonder how many scraps Hermippos has received from Cleon's table. Hermippos has gone too far, Socrates. Pericles gave everything to Athens. Yet, we must still hear of Cleon's greatness.
Aristophanes, have you not done seemly things to Hermippos?
How dare you compare me to that man? His plays are a nuisance. Something I could come up with in an afternoon, and a drunken one at that. Mine are for a clever audience.
The same audience you judge. Should it not be clever enough?
Careful, Socrates, else I make you a character in one of my plays. Do you agree with Socrates that Hermippos should say what he wants?
Actually, yes I do.
They're only words. Hermippos should be able to say what he wants.
No matter what he says? What if he devoted his life to slandering you? Not just in Athens, but throughout the land.
Well, then he'd have to deal with
Say
the
what he
consequences,
wants
wouldn't
doesn't
he?
mean he would escape my spear.
Then everything we say has a consequence, even if we are allowed to say
Yep.
it. An intriguing thought, wouldn't you agree?
If you have such an issue with Hermippos, why not do something about it yourself?
I'd like to, but I haven't been able to find him. Maybe you'd have better luck.
Alright, I'm in.
It can't be that hard to find Hermippos.
That's what I thought as well. Maybe he's afraid I'll find him.
Yeah, I doubt that.
Once Hermippos is in front of you, what are you going to say?
I'm not entirely sure yet, but I promise you, it will be a grand spectacle.
It almost sounds like you're jealous of Hermippos.
Ha! Me envious of him? Making someone sad is easy, but making someone laugh takes true skill and talent.
Wherever Hermipos is, I'll find him.
I hope you do. His residence would be a good place to start.
You see, this is the difference between people having a fight in Athens and people having a fight in Sparta. In Athens, they make witty comments about each other. In Sparta, somebody ends up bleeding. Right, so I need to find Hermipos, who, by the way, was another Athenian playwright. Hence the rivalry with Aristophanes here. I believe Hermipos was famous for writing tragedies. Aristophanes was famous for writing comedies, which probably explains why they didn't get along with each other. Anyway, we're near his
Doesn't
house.
look like Hermipos is here. I should take a look around.
Let's scout it out with Icarus first. Nice house. Seems to be a very heavily guarded house for some reason. Strange. He's just a playwright. Yeah, very heavily guarded house. Alright, we're going to have to be sneaky again. This might not end well. Hey, let's be optimistic. At some point I'm going to get one of these stealth infiltrations right, even if it's only by accident. So oh, it's right next to the building that we sneaked into earlier in order to get the citizenship list signed. Okay. Did I say signed? I meant forged. You know what I mean. There's a...
Let's hope no one notices me here.
See, there's a location objective here. Kill the captain and loot the treasure. I don't actually have to kill the captain if I want to get this location objective complete. I can just knock him out and then recruit him to the crew of my ship. I don't have to actually put him in the position of one of the lieutenants on the crew of my ship, but it counts as killing the captain. So, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. There he is.
Was that a whistle?
That was a whistle. You should definitely come over here and investigate. Nothing bad will happen. Yeah, my assassination damage wasn't high enough to successfully knock him out. I would have had to get involved in a fight, so yeah, just kill him. As long as nobody sees me killing him, it's all good.
Well, I should see what that was.
Yeah, you should. Well, so much for the sneaky approach. If you specialise your gear for assassination damage, assassination? What are you? You saw Connery all of a sudden, Jingles. Assassination damage. You can do enough assassination damage to take out even an elite with a knockout. So there's the location objective complete. Some experience. Not bad.
Where's that coming from?
He's a big bugger. But the bigger they are, and the harder they fall. So, where is Hermipos? There'll be some clues around here somewhere. Not down here in the courtyard, that's for sure. Oh, there's something up there.
A mask from the cult of Cosmos.
Well,
Hermipos must be a member.
well. I did say in the last video that there were 2 cultists present at the party in Pericles' house. Hermipos was one of them. We didn't speak to him directly, but he was there.
Looks like Cleon made notes for Hermipos on his play. Everyone's a writer.
Wait, so Hermipos, a member of the cult of Cosmos, is writing plays, telling everybody what a fantastic chap Cleon is. Cleon's not only financing it, he's telling Hermipos what to say. It all sounds very suspicious.
This is a lot of money for someone like Hermipos. Explains his residence, at least.
Cleon, by the way, in case anybody's forgotten, was the Athenian general who was speaking against Pericles at the Pnyx here in Athens when we first met them. He's a bit of a rabble-rouser, using the poor progress of the war against Sparta to stir up public opinion against Pericles. That doesn't necessarily make him a bad person. Politicians will use whatever means necessary to discredit their opponents. I have to admit, when I first saw Cleon speaking against Pericles when we arrived in Athens, I was thinking to myself, nah, it's too obvious. I mean, we know that there are members of the cult in Athens from the various different clues that we picked up, even if we haven't gotten enough clues to identify all of them yet. And the first time we saw Cleon, he was publicly denouncing Pericles. But just being an opponent of Pericles doesn't make you a member of the cult of Cosmos, it just makes you a politician trying to capitalise on the poor state of the war to win power in Athens. And yet, even though I thought Cleon was just too obvious a candidate as a member of the cult, the evidence is starting to point in this direction. Anyway, let's see what Aristophanes makes of all of this. No doubt there'll be another lecture from Socrates afterwards.
What is it?
I couldn't find Hermipos, but I did find out something about him. He's a member of the cult of Cosmos.
Then it's no wonder he attached himself so closely to Cleon. Discrediting Pericles and his beliefs in Athens would benefit Hermipos and the cult, I'd imagine.
Hermipos is definitely a problem.
Do you still believe he should say what he wants, Socrates?
I know not what I think, nor what I know.
Yes, you deserve a play of your own.
Well, good news.
What is a leader if he hides behind the walls he built himself? Send me fire, storm, or sickness, but bring me justice for my city.
Cultist exposed. Now he just needs killing. Ah. No lecture from Socrates this time. Lucky me. Right. What's next? Well, I don't know about you, but personally, I feel like killing a cultist. And Hermipos seems to fit the bill. You know what they say about the cultists? They all need stabbing. Ha. This isn't going to be as straightforward as I'd hoped. He's hiding out in the temple of Hephaestus. Hephaestus was basically the Greek version of the Roman god Vulcan, although it's probably more accurate to say that Vulcan was the Roman version of the Greek god Hephaestus, the god of the forge. He was a bit of a blacksmith. He liked a damn good spot of blacksmithery. And for some reason here in Athens they really don't like you poking around this temple, which is kind of surprising. Hephaestus didn't really have a lot of temples compared to the other gods in the Greek pantheon. You would have thought the few temples that he had would have been open to the public, but no, apparently not. So, let's get the locations of all of the guards tagged, and then we're going to think about how to do this. Preferably without having to commit extreme violence and bloody murder in the middle of Athens and end up with a bounty on our heads. Like I said, you can kill as many people as you like in this game without any legal consequences, as long as nobody sees you doing it. Knocking people out, however, even if people see you doing it, will not trigger a bounty. A little bit of assault and battery is fine. It's just murder that they have problems with, and strangely enough, killing livestock.
You don't belong here.
Ah, shit.
You're too weak.
Alright, I'm going to have to kill this guy. I appear to have accidentally speared the guy that I knocked out while attacking this fella. So that's one murder. And coming up, 2. Actually, you know, the thought occurs to me while we're in the grounds of Hephaestus' temple. The poor old bugger didn't ask for much, did he? He only wanted to be the god of craftsmen and blacksmiths. And then Athena, the daughter of Zeus, who's known as the goddess of wisdom, she was actually the goddess of a lot more than that. As well as wisdom, she was the goddess of courage, inspiration, civilization, law, justice, strategic warfare, mathematics, strength, strategy, and, wait for it, arts and crafts. Muscling in on poor old Hephaestus' territory. Poor old Hephaestus. He didn't ask for much. He only wanted to be the god of blacksmithing and crafts, and Athena just being the goddess of nearly everything wasn't good enough. She had to take crafts as well. Anyway, killing Hermippos has given us a clue to the identity of the sage in charge of the subsect known as the Eyes of Cosmos. So that's nice. 2 more clues to go. We'll unveil the identity of this sage, and they're only level 21, judging by the very, very nice daggers that we're going to get from killing them. So that sage is definitely killable, providing we can ID them. And of course, killing Hermippos has also given us the 3rd piece of the legendary snake set, which comes in very, very handy if assassinations are your thing. Oh, the bounty sponsor. Yeah, I'm not going to bother. I mean, technically, yes, there's a bounty on my head, but the value isn't even enough to attract the attention of 1 bounty hunter, so I'm not going to bother. Now, let's check out these new gloves that Hermippos very generously donated. There they are. Very, very nice indeed. So, cheers for that, Hermippos. Now, what's next? Oh, look, it's that crazy old prankster Socrates again. No doubt there's another lecture in my immediate future.
That's a nice horse, Socrates.
It's a very nice horse. A sturdy horse. It's also a stolen horse.
Socrates the horse thief. I can almost hear the stories they'll tell. Aristophanes will love this.
Unfortunately, those stories would be entirely fabricated. Although, I would like to see if you believe the stories should still be told once you know the truth.
What story is that?
There is a man nearby who is responsible for stealing the horse. I've been contemplating the proper course of action, but I'd like to know what you think is right.
Yeah, I think I can handle this.
And how should I make my decision?
Your thoughts are your own, but speaking to the thief himself may help you decide. Can such a crime be justified? It's an interesting thought.
Where is the thief now?
I told him to wait by the stables southwest of here.
If you caught him stealing a horse, what's to say he won't just run away?
The hope of keeping the horse. That's where you come in. I'll let him tell you the rest.
Once again, this is unlikely to be as straightforward as it may first appear. We're in the port of Piraeus. There are a number of restricted areas here, and sure enough, waiting by the stables means he's in one of those restricted areas. So I can't just walk up to him for a chat, otherwise I'll get set upon by the guards. So I'm going to have to be subtle about this. Now I know what you're all thinking. Okay. Jingles can't do subtlety. Oh ye of little faith. Okay, I realise that historically the evidence is on your side, but there's a first time for everything. Yeah, here we go.
They'll be watching for me. I need to be careful.
Apparently the stables are inside the Piraeus workshop, which is a restricted area. Fine. Right, there's the horse thief. And, yep, sure enough. Guards everywhere. Alright, how are we going to do this? Well, let's at least try to be sneaky. So these must be the stables. And he's right there. Problem is there's 2 guards looking right at him. Well, actually, one walked past him, one's got his back to him, but there's another one approaching from down there in the courtyard. So, let's incapacitate this fella. Because this patrol route is probably going to lead him back to the guy that we need to speak to. I can't just jump on him from here though. He's too far away. Right, that guy just came from inside the courtyard to down here. Oh bollocks, I screwed it up already.
For glory!
Right. Run away. Let's at least try to break contact and... No, he's the only one chasing me. Nah, I can't start a fight in the middle of the street. Oh wait, he's not the only one chasing me. They're all coming after me. Actually, this might work out in my favour. If I can draw all the guards away from the workshop, I can just double back. Let's give it a try, since that's basically what's happening anyway. This does actually seem to be working. Of course, this is totally how I planned it all along. Right, that's drawn at least half of the guards from the workshop away, scouring the length and breadth of Piraeus trying to find me. Although they won't be distracted for long, so I'm going to have to move. Right, there's the horse thief.
That's the thief.
Yeah,
You won't escape.
he's rumbled. He's off. There's no point in being subtle now. It's alright, I'm leaving. Oh, don't run back in. No, it's okay, good. I thought I was going to have to chase him back through all of the other guards. As long as he keeps running away from where all those guards are looking. And he is. Yeah, this worked out fine. Didn't have to kill anybody. Totally as I planned it. You believe me, right? Oh no, don't run back towards them. Oh, bollocks. Coming through. Oh, they've all forgotten what I look like already. Hooray! Yay, we've done it.
Are you the one who stole the horse? Socrates said I should talk to you.
Bad enough being caught, but to have a Misthios judge me?
Better than an Athenian guard. Anything to say?
The man I stole it from won't even miss it. He has plenty of others, while my only horse died last week. If I had the drachmi to buy a new one, I would have.
Well, that's a fine excuse, isn't it?
Did you steal the horse to use it or sell it?
I have a family to feed, and this horse will help me on the farm. Plus, I have no other way of traveling right now.
There's no other option?
Not that I could think of.
Well, clearly you
Trust me,
didn't think hard
I
enough,
feel
did you?
shame for what I did.
Any reason you picked this specific horse?
It was the easiest one to take. Other than that, not really. Though, I did make sure it wasn't his best horse.
A courteous thief.
I didn't steal it for fun. I did it because I had no other choice.
Huh.
I have enough information to make a decision.
I hope you can understand. Wouldn't you do the same if it was your family?
I don't think so, because you see, unlike you, I know that I'm not smart enough to do it without getting caught. Seriously. I needed it, so I stole it. I couldn't afford to buy one. I have no other means of travel. Your legs appear to work just fucking fine, sunshine, judging by the chase you just led me across half of Athens. You see, I am a firm believer in the idea that you should be able to say and do whatever the hell you want. As long as you're prepared to deal with any possible consequences of saying what you want and doing what you want, then on your head be it. I realise the whole concept of taking responsibility for your actions is a bit old-fashioned these days, but hey, so am I.
Have you decided what should be done?
Yeah, turn the thieving bastard in.
It doesn't matter why he stole the horse. It belongs to someone else.
You surprise me yet again. I truly believed you would choose the other side.
Because I am a Misthios?
Of course. Yet, when it comes to someone else, you decide a crime deserves a consequence no matter the reason. A safe choice, although I can think of times when it may not be right.
The real question is whether my decision matters at all, or if this was just another test to see what I would do.
There is a good chance it is both, but an equally good chance it is neither.
Now you're not making sense on purpose.
Let me ask you one more thing. If one man kills another in order to save many, can his actions be considered just? Or should the man be punished?
Murder's murder.
The outcome may be better, but he should still be punished for his crime.
That is true, yet if his peers were to decide, especially those he saved, they may argue that though the action was wrong, it was necessary and just.
I'm not sure the law cares about the reasons.
But if we are to decide whether the law should act on a man, or if his crime should be pardoned, the worthiness of the action should be taken into account, should it not?
Are we done yet? I can't stay here all day.
Of course you can't. It's a luxury few can afford. Even those with the time for it often lack the mental capacity for such things.
Okay.
I loved her reaction. But Socrates does raise a very, very interesting question. If you do something bad, murder for example, should you be allowed to get away with it if you did it for a good reason? You see, people tend to get very confused between the whole concept of a legal defence and a mitigating factor. I didn't do it is a defence. I did it, but I did it for a good reason, is a confession with a mitigating factor. A mitigating factor doesn't mean you are not guilty of the crime that you're accused of, but it's something that a judge should take into account to decide on how severe your punishment should be. So, for example, if you steal a horse because you happen to know, for whatever reason, that the jockey riding that horse is going to be assassinated by a mystery gunman before they can cross the finish line in the race that's coming up, that's a pretty good mitigating factor to explain why you stole a horse. And when it comes to sentencing, assuming it gets that far, the judge will probably let you off with a minor slap on the wrist. On the other hand, if you steal a horse because, well, you needed one, and you couldn't be bothered working to earn the money to buy one, and the guy you stole it from, he's got a lot of horses, and hey, at least I didn't steal his best one. I can't really see a judge looking too kindly on that, as far as mitigating factors are concerned. I'm sure you get the point. Anyway, we're on the trail of another cultist, and all we know about him is he runs a slave operation and a silver mine somewhere in Attica. A bit like this one.
So now they have people watch us get punished. That's a different kind of shame.
I'm not here to watch. I just saw you by chance.
What you saw was a man who paid his master for freedom, but is being kept a slave.
You can do that?
My master gave me a price for my freedom, and I saved until I had enough. Now that I've given him the drachmi, he pretends as if the deal never existed.
Maybe I can do something about that.
That isn't right. Let me talk to him for you.
Really? You do that? My name is Phaedon. I don't know who you are, but surely you were sent by the gods. They must have heard my prayers.
Gods had nothing to do with this.
If you're waiting on help from the gods, I can leave.
No, please don't. Someone or something brought you here to me.
Yes, my legs did.
Gods or not, I'm grateful. My master should be near the silver mine. He's likely overseeing other slaves like myself.
Alright, I'll take care of this.
I'll talk to your master and make sure he listens.
He's not really the listening type.
He will be with me.
I tend to have that effect on people. Right, time to have a word. This guy's probably a cultist. Let's find out.
You look strong. I could always use more people to keep the slaves in line if you're looking for work.
I'm already working. I'm here about one of your slaves, Phaedon.
As if I know their names. You're wasting my time.
Give me a moment to explain.
That's close enough to begging for me. Fine. Speak.
There's a man who paid you for his freedom. He'd like you to follow through on that promise.
Doesn't sound familiar. But I'm feeling generous. Do something for me, and I'll give this Phaedon his freedom.
What is it?
There's a woman I'd like you to kill. It'll leave her family to fend for themselves. But the cult of Cosmos needs it done.
You're a member of the cult? If that's true, then you know who I am.
You're smarter than they make you out to be, Eagle Bearer.
Tell me why I shouldn't just kill you now.
You could. Of course, if I'm killed, the slave stays that way. And I'm the only one who knows where his papers are.
Why does this woman need to die?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you needed to know that. Wait, you don't.
Fredon said you already broke your promise once. This better not be another of those times.
Look around. I have plenty of slaves. In exchange for the woman's death, I can let one go.
Most people prefer to keep their cult status a secret.
You can't do a thing about it if you want to help whatever his name is. Also, it adds a bit more fun to the situation, don't you think?
I'll be on my way.
Kill the woman or not, it's your choice. But if you want your slave friend to go free, it's the only way. One person's freedom is another's demise.
Well, this is him. Killing him gives me the legendary Viper headpiece, which is very, very nice. But I'm not going to just kill some random woman for him. Of course, that means that the slave's going to stay a slave, but, well, he was a slave when I arrived. He's not any worse off if he's still a slave when I leave. Oh,
Cassandra! What chance
Here
that
we
we
go.
should meet here?
It doesn't really feel like chance.
Ah, so you wish for today's topic to be about fate.
No, not really.
Good, because I had another in mind.
Fancy seeing you here, Socrates.
Attica is large, yet fate keeps bringing us together.
Ah, you're trying to bring us back to fate once again. I won't let you avoid answering my questions, though.
So how much did you overhear?
Oh, all of it. You have a difficult choice to make, clearly. How much is the freedom of one person worth? Do you believe one life is worth more than another?
No, I don't.
There's no difference between one person and another. We all take our first breath the same way.
But are the breaths you take equal to my own? Would you not say the breath of Pericles is put to better use than that of someone in prison?
There are plenty of great people who spent time
It
in
doesn't
prison.
matter which two people you compare. The answer is the same.
So, a thief is equal to a priest, a politician to a child? An interesting view.
I think I've said enough.
Ah, you're right. I know you are busy and your mind is weary.
That does sound like me.
Go now. It's been an honor having these conversations with you.
You too, Socrates.
He's testing me. Well, I'm not killing the woman, that's for sure.
What is it?
About what you asked.
Have you decided to give up on your slave friend? If you have, I won't give you another chance.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill you.
I'm not going to kill someone so you'll free Fedon when he should have been already.
Fine. I'll find someone else to kill her, and Fedon will remain my slave. I'll be sure he receives a grand reward for wasting so much of my time.
Well, that at least I can do something about. Right. I believe you have a hat that belongs to me.
You deserve
Give it up.
and worse.
Again, Socrates raises an interesting question. Is the life of a great statesman worth more or less than the life of a prisoner? There are any number of people who went on to achieve greatness from humble beginnings. You can't just judge them because of their current status. Nelson Mandela spent 27 years behind bars in Robben Island Penitentiary on charges of terrorism. He went on to become South Africa's first black president. Andrew Carnegie, born in a single-room cottage in Dunfermline, Scotland in 1835. Family was so poor they emigrated to the USA when he was 13. He earned $1.20 a week in his first job, but by the time he died he'd made so much money in the American steel industry he actually gave away $4.8 billion. You just can't say, well, this person is completely unimportant now, so their life isn't worth anything. You just have no idea what they're going to go on to achieve. But what's important here, the really important thing, is that I've killed another cultist and I've gotten his stuff. You see, it's far too easy to get lost in all this talk of philosophy. You have to focus on what's important in life, killing people and taking their stuff. So, having said that, this is the last surviving member of the Eyes of Cosmos. Midas, a banker in Argolis. Almost certainly named Midas in reference to King Midas, who is said to have had the touch that turned everything to gold. And we have a quest to go to Argolis, don't we? We're trying to track our mother down. And one of the leads that we had from the guests at Pericles' party was that there were two possible places that a woman escaping from Sparta with an injured baby would go to. And they were both in Argolis. One, the Temple of Asclepios, or a promising and upcoming young physician by the name of Hippocrates. And there's the quest. First do no harm. So, it looks like we're going to Argolis. And before too long, that's exactly where we find ourselves. By a lucky coincidence, we just so happen to be sharing the marketplace in Argolis with the cultist banker Midas, who definitely needs a damn good stabbing. Of course, his bodyguards object. But he is just a banker, he's not going to put up much of a fight. Of course, I have to confirm the kill in order to get his stuff, and a clue to the next cultist. And I can't do that while I'm being stabbed by his bodyguards, so I'm going to have to deal with them. Now, unfortunately, it's not really the bodyguards that are the problem here. It's everybody else. Committing murder in broad daylight, right in the middle of the Agora, is generally frowned upon, even in ancient Greece. So I'm attracting the attention not only of his bodyguards, but also every guard in the immediate vicinity. And every time I kill somebody in public, I'm attracting a bounty. So far it's only one bounty hunter, but the more people I kill, I'm going to have to put the dog down. Okay, I've got the boots, I've got the clue to the next cultist, I have his artifact fragment, but I have to get the hell out of here. Lie low and let the heat die off. And now there are two bounty hunters after me. Crap. Gotta lose the guards. I may just kill the bounty hunters. What? No, seriously. Sometimes it's actually a good idea to have a bounty on your head. Because a lot of these bounty hunters have some very good stuff on them. And also, there's another aspect to the game. Let me just quickly check the clues that I got from Midas here, because this should allow me to unveil the sage in charge of the Eyes of Cosmos. Here we go. Well, what do you look like?
Nothing gets past the Eyes of Cosmos.
Well, okay then. Very nice set of daggers. But anyway, running around with a bounty on your head, it's not actually all bad. I mean, of course, you're constantly running the risk of having somebody trying to separate your head from your shoulders, just for the money. But that's what you do for a living anyway. And there are some incredibly nice items in the game that you can only obtain by taking them from the cold dead fingers of the mercenaries who own them. Plus, there's actually a ranking system in the game for mercenaries. And if you eliminate mercenaries who are higher up the ranks than you are, you advance in rank. And there are some very, very nice perks available as you advance up the mercenary ladder. Cheaper prices from blacksmiths, cheaper upgrades for your ship. And if you eventually become the #1 ranked mercenary in all of Greece, there's an epic mount in it for you as well. Okay. Since I just got the full snake set from the last member of the Eyes of Cosmos, I've equipped it because it's very, very good with assassination damage. And unfortunately, I completely screwed that one up. I did not expect her to be able to see me through the canopy. I was hoping to drop on her and get a load of assassination damage in, but, well, yeah, so much for that idea. Ooh, and she does poison damage as well. Okay. Sparta kick, and she can't be staggered. Shit. I was hoping to kick her right off the rooftop. Alright, never mind. I'm gonna have to do this the old-fashioned way. Remove a shield. Yay, she actually hits pretty hard. Well, she's a level higher than me. But if she can use poisons, so can I. I can't even remember what it is that she carries. But I want it. Better in my pocket than hers. And also, killing her is going to potentially move me up the mercenary ladder. Uh-oh, she's been joined by a friend. Crap. Okay, shit just got real. I'm going to need to either get the hell out of here or kill one of them fast. And I am out-leveled here. But the other thing about the snake set that I'm wearing is it doesn't just do a lot of assassination damage. It also boosts the poison damage that you do. So I've got the old poison arrows equipped. And poison, it doesn't just do damage over time, it also lowers the armour of your target, so all of your other attacks do more damage as well. And it lowers their damage output. It intoxicates them. Alright. One of them's dropped down and can no longer attack me. Happy with that. Gonna finish this one off. Got a headshot. And now for her friend, who seems to have run out of arrows. If I can just do this without attracting the attention of any further guards. Got you. Right. 2 mercenaries down. I just need to wait for the guards to lose interest. Although I can probably loot the one on the rooftop without attracting too much attention. Oh, she's got something nice. Confirm the kill.
Hope you saved some coins for the crossing.
Oh, holy shit. That's part of the Greek Heroes set. Atalanta's sandals. Those are very, very nice. Now. See if I can pop down there and loot the second one. Oh, and it's another legendary. But, bollocks. Couldn't loot the body or confirm the kill while being attacked by the dog. And here come the guards. Crap. Yeah, I'm gonna have to run away and wait till all the fuss dies down. It took a lot longer than expected for the guards to tire of looking for me, so I'm gonna quickly nip in there, confirm the kill and take the stuff. While they're not in the immediate vicinity. What did we win, Bob? Oh, a legendary sword. Prometheus's Seeker. It's level 26, so I can't equip it yet, because the mercenary who had it was level 26, but I'm level 25, so soon. And now, having concluded my cult business here in Argos, it's probably high time I started actually tracking down some of these leads that will hopefully lead me to a reunion with my long-lost mother. So the first order of business, tracking down the famous physician Hippocrates, who has a clinic here in Argos. All of that coming up in the next episode. Hope you've enjoyed this one, and as always, take care, and I'll catch you next time.